So triggers are really important, and the basic premise here is that if you can get one or more of the right triggers into your content, then your content is much more likely to be heavily shared and generate lots and lots more word of mouth than if you don't have triggers in the content. Here's how it works. If you see someone in a video wearing a stupid hat, then you're much more likely to remember the content and the video if you see someone else walking around in a stupid hat. Yeah, actually, I quite like it. So if I was suddenly to start working out with dumbbells, then you're probably much more likely to remember me when you're in the gym and you see a pair of dumbbells.
If I was to do this video with a mouthful of apple, because I'm eating an apple whilst I'm playing the video, then you see an apple, and you see someone eating an apple, you're much more likely to remember this video and me and the content.
Or if I were to do the video in a horrifically garish jumper or other item of clothing, then you'd probably remember me if you saw an equally garish, inappropriate item of clothing that nobody should be seen dead in. Just to confirm, I didn't actually borrow this off my girlfriend. This is actually my jumper. What was I thinking? Now, everybody knows that cats are one of the best things to put in videos. People just love them and go crazy for them. I mean, how many cat videos have gone viral? Which is why it's a bit of a shame that I don't happen to, oh, what do you know? Say hello to Mitzi. So you've just seen Mitzi the cat, and that's my final example of a trigger in this video. But cats are a particularly good trigger because there are millions of them in the UK alone. So that's one of the things that makes a really good trigger when the person who views your piece of content goes about their business out in the everyday world. For example, cats are absolutely everywhere. So by putting a cat in your video, like I've done in this one, they're going to be constantly reminded of your video and your content every time they see a cat for a certain period of time. Now, there's quite a lot more to triggers. There are certain criteria that triggers have to meet to work really, really well. So, for example, just briefly, they have to be linked to your business ideally. And as I mentioned before about the cat, the best triggers are something where your target audience is constantly going to be reminded of your trigger every single day. So what you do is you think about the specific things that are quite unique, ideally, to your target audience and the people in your target audience. And if you can really zone in on a trigger that occurs very, very frequently, ideally daily or twice or even more times every day, and if it's something that's a little bit unusual, triggers work best when there's only one or two things that have ever been linked to that particular trigger. So there's quite a lot more to it, but I hope you've got a really good overview of how triggers work and how you can use them in your content. It's the second principle of 6. And there's a lot more information on my website, so do have a look if you want to know more about triggers and more about the other 5 principles.